Hi, and welcome to week 2 of EDC 516. This week, we're going to be reviewing some of the foundational theories in the fields of TESOL and bilingual education. You'll note that this is a little bit of a heavier week for readings and viewings, so please plan accordingly as you're making your schedule for how you're going to approach this week's content. Because we're reviewing a lot of different concepts, and to support you in kind of making sense of all of the different things that you're learning, I've created a note catcher that you can use, which is has a few different graphic organizers embedded, where you'll be able to keep track of your learning around each theory and concept, writing down the definitions and some explanations for each of the theories. You will have a quiz coming up next week where you'll be asked questions around theories in addition to methods and approaches. So this will be a really helpful document for you to use as well as a resource when you're taking that quiz. So I want to spend a little bit of time just kind of getting you ready for the content you're about to engage with, and make sure you're all set for your assignments for this week. So you'll see below that I've linked 2 of the readings that provide some of the review of foundational theories in TESOL and bilingual ed. The first is the first chapter in our course text, Scaffolding Language, Scaffolding Learning by Pauline Gibbons. Do make sure that you have purchased the book, or if you haven't yet, please get that order in right away. I provided this chapter in case your book hasn't arrived yet, but I'm only providing this first chapter in a scanned version. So moving forward with our course text, you'll want to have the book. And this book that chapter does a really nice job providing some overview of different theories and different concepts that we'll be exploring throughout the course. Then you have a chapter from Harrell and Jordan's book, where they also present a few really important foundational theories for you to know around language education. It is a long chapter. I'm only asking you to read pages 2 to 11. If you'd like to keep reading as they start to talk about assessment, you're welcome to. But for this week, where we're really focusing on theories and concepts related to bilingualism and TESOL, you only need to read pages 2 to 11. So after you've engaged with those 2 readings, there are a couple of mini lectures for you to watch where I unpack some of the concepts that you've read and a few additional ones that you haven't. And we talk about some of the most important things to keep in mind regarding second language acquisition. The first one is framed as myths or facts, where I give a series of statements and you have to decide for yourself if you think it's a myth or a fact, and then we talk about each one. And the second one just provides some additional information about some of the theories that I think are most important for teachers to know in the field of second language acquisition. And finally, you'll see a short video from Dr. Stephen Krashen, where he explains the concept of comprehensible input. This is one of the most important concepts for teachers of multilingual learners to know and understand. And I think he does a really good job unpacking why. As you move into step 3 for this week, we're going to start talking a little bit about culturally and linguistically responsive teaching. There is an article that's linked that I want you to skim, where the authors talk about and define culturally responsive teaching, to provide you with a background for that term if it's one that you're not familiar with, or to review the concept if it's one that you are. And then you have a series of videos from a web series that are linked on the CUNY website, the City University of New York's website. This, I think, is a fantastic short series of videos to really unpack the concept of translanguaging, which is something that you'll hear about in some of the earlier content, but it helps really unpack what translanguaging is and how to think about it as a linguistically responsive approach to supporting multilingual learners. So that is the content for this week. And as I said, it is, I know, a heavier week, but I think hopefully it'll be something that you'll really enjoy diving into, review for some of you. For some of you, some of these concepts might be brand new. And the reason that I really make space this week to dive into theory in a course that's focused on methods is because I believe that this course isn't just about giving you a list of tools that you can employ in your classroom. It really is about teaching you methods and strategies, of course, but in connection to theory and research. So I want you to be able to think, anytime you use a strategy in your classroom, I want you to be able to articulate why you've selected that strategy and how you know it will be supportive of your multilingual learners' language acquisition or content learning. So really helping you make that connection between theory and practice. So this week is aimed at helping you do that by giving you some of the background around, in SLA, in second language acquisition theory, in TESOL and bilingual ed, so that you can articulate those reasons for yourself and for anyone else who asks. while you're making the decisions you are in your instruction. So you'll have an opportunity after engaging with all of that to post your reflection on the discussion board. That is the same as for all weeks, where you do your initial post by Sunday and responded to classmates by Tuesday. And do remember to cite the readings and viewings in your post and include the references in APA format at the end, as most of you are doing. And one final reminder, if you haven't scheduled a one-on-one check-in already with me, please do that as soon as you can. Again, these are check-ins to be able to talk about your major paper and for us to get to connect virtually, but in person at least once during the semester. I've enjoyed talking with some of you already and look forward to connecting with the rest of you this week and next week. So that is it for this week. I hope you enjoy the content. Feel free to reach out via email or a Zoom call if you do want to set up a time to talk through any of it. That I enjoy reading your reflections on the discussion board. Talk to you soon.